a masterpiece to promote island sustainability.
In 3, 2, 1, Viva Kamaka!
The University of Guam Center for Island Sustainability and Sea Grant Art Corps program unveiling its newest mural by local artist Kamakanui Aha Aquino. But the piece is more than art. It symbolizes Guam as well as Guam Green Growth's initiative and dedication to reaching sustainability goals by 2030.
Sea Grant alone brings in tens of millions of dollars in grant funding. And so Sea Grant alone, through the Research Corporation of the University of Guam, employs upwards of about 70 plus individuals.
But could critical programs under UOG like Sea Grant be at risk of losing federal funding due to the Trump administration's federal funding freeze?
I think so. There'll be some impacts. What those impacts are remain to be seen. What we can say is that funding will either be decreased or taken away altogether for certain kinds of grants, depending on what the executive order is.
Earlier this week, a federal judge in Rhode Island ruling the Trump administration failed to comply with an order to halt a sweeping funding freeze. But despite that ruling, UOG has already felt the impact. Dr. Santos Bamba revealing that a number of grants have been affected, like a pause on a climate justice grant, with more grants potentially facing similar fates.
The National Institutes of Health have sent us some information about indirect costs, right? And so traditionally it's about 30% for indirect costs, which is revenue for the institution. They dropped that to 15%. So we're actually looking at about half of the amount of indirect costs, which as a result, unfortunately, we've already sent letters to employees informing them of the furlough.
Dr. Santos Bamba stressing the tangible impacts of these funding cuts.
These grants provide services to our community, and the university just manages these grants. And we employ people from our community with these grant funding, which means that we have families already locally that are being impacted by these decisions.